What's up, dudes? In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can break in the remote high-ticket sales space so you can hit your first 5K, 10K, even 15K a month consistently with no sales experience. And if you do have sales experience, dude, even better. This is a in-depth, detailed high-ticket sales course, program, however you want to frame it, all for free. High-ticket sales has completely changed my life from sleeping on an air mattress a couple years ago to making over 6 figures a year consistently at 21 years old, allowing me to work all over the world, fully remote, and I've been doing this consistently since I was 19 years old. Not only that, high-ticket sales has not only changed my life, but it's also changed Daniel's life, who went from a setter making 2K a month to working as a closer, hitting his first 6K a month, to later then becoming a sales manager, hitting 15K a month consistently, which allowed him to move to Miami and travel the world. Also, Micah, who went from a lifeguard in Hawaii, working 24 hours a week, Monday to Monday, his words, to making 8K a month consistently back-to-back as a closer. Flavius, a random European guy in Europe living in Moldova, probably the only closer in Moldova from what he's saying, who just hit a 6.5K month last month and on track to break it this month. Tristan, who went from a broke bartender to hitting his very first record month of 8K as an appointment call setter, which we'll go in depth on what that is in a moment. Now travels to Bali every single quarter and is a full-time closer. Ociel went from a full-time barber to becoming a full-time closer, hitting a record month of 8,000, and then closing his biggest deal yet. This is one of my top students in terms of closing deals, a 15K deal, which was $1,500 in commission. And from the commissions he made, he threw all that into ecom, which allowed him to hit back-to-back 20K months from the money he made from sales. Marco, who was a depressed college frat guy, who booked a one-way to Montenegro, Europe to participate in an Ironman out there, who's living out there full-time, averaging between 4K a month in commissions. David, who worked as a car salesman, who practically lived in the dealership, now transitioned from a setter to a closer and averaging 5K a month consistently. I know that was a lot, and there's many more guys, so my boys, if you guys are watching this video and you're not in this, just know I love you, and you guys can look at the Discord wins. It's no big deal. But in this video, guys, like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat. My job in this video is to save you so much time that you have not spent researching in high-ticket sales or wasting your time in a job you don't like, so you can take this video and run with it completely. I've helped multiple students quit their 9-to-5s, build confidence, place them on 5 to 15K a month OTE offers, and from the commissions they make, give them more opportunities to take their commissions and invest in themselves in other opportunities like Airbnb, trading, ecom, and many, many more things. Like, the opportunity is unending. You just need a vehicle and a stream to get you there, and that's what high-ticket sales did for us. The information in this free guide has the potential to completely change your life. I'm talking 180. So you have to take notes, take out a pen and paper, put your phone on airplane mode, enough to just clear out the distractions, because I know some people will charge thousands for the information I'll be giving you guys here in a moment. I'm not even kidding you. So take a pen and paper, take some notes. I also have a free gift for you at the end of this video. So if you're here for that long, consider a gift from me. Respect. Let's get to work. Also, because I'm dropping some crazy bombs in this training, I also want to give you an opportunity to connect with other people that are also starting in this journey. And I already have been building a career in this industry in my Discord community down below. Go ahead and join, connect, get started. But other than that, let's get right into the sauce so you can actually find massive value from this. All right, look, guys, I'm a sales guy. I'm not a content creator as much as I'm trying to be. I'm learning, but I made it super dumb simple to the point where a 12-year-old can understand it. Because, dude, I'm telling you, high-ticket sales is not easy, but it's so simple. If you can have a normal conversation, you can talk to someone at the cash register, you're going to be fine. So what I did is I created a quick Miro of details that you need to know, fundamentals. And before I even go into detail, I want to give you guys understanding of who I am and why I'm actually qualified enough to be giving you guys the information I'm going to be giving you guys here in a moment, because I hope you're not just taking information from random people on the internet. Make sure they're actually solid. So I'm essentially putting my money where my mouth is, okay? So here are some wires over here of going straight into my bank, of my payouts. Here's a 12K month. Here is a 18K, 9K, 5K day, 10K day, 26K day, 2K day. Anyways, you get the deal. These are all wires going into my bank. And if we scroll down here, these are actual high ticket closes. So this is a $7,500 close right there. As you can see, this is a 37.5 close. I think this is 5K close. This was for a 5K offer that I was closing for. I can only give so much, of course, for the NDAs and stuff like that. But some more closes. You can see 2K closes, 10K closes, 5K closes. You get the deal. Now, this video right here with my boy Elijah was actually filmed just under 3 years ago. And he was one of my first mentors and just connects in the industry. We actually filmed a podcast, 22 minutes long, of my first $3,500 week. I was 18. You can see my background right there. It was the really ratchet ratchet bedroom I was working from, which we'll get into in a moment. But not only that, like, that's great. You guys can see my payouts. You guys can see the closes I got. I actually record my objection handles. And so I post them on Twitter. They blow up. 25K views. People like them, comment. Just pretty much getting my closes. This was a close I got less than 15 minutes. Got another one over here. This call made me $250 in 20 minutes from this close. 33K views. 35K views on this one. On a 5K objection handle. Anyways, people love the objection handles, just picking my brain and getting idea of it. But anyways, this is a social proof, okay? My money is where my mouth is. This is what I've been doing as a career for the past 3 years. And so now this will give you the confidence to actually, okay, take some serious notes from me. Because I'll tell you right now, I'll say this respectfully, most people can't do this that is giving high ticket sales advice, okay? So let's get right into it. Now, what I want to show you in this drive right here, I'll just let the video do itself. Listen to this.
I'm making this video to show myself how committed I am to making it happen. I'm in the closet. I'm sitting down for well over 8 hours a day. I'm grinding. I'm putting in the work. I'm 18 and I'm look at this. This is a lot. I'm making it happen.
So what exactly is high ticket sales? You are literally the heartbeat of these businesses. Without closers and setters, they don't make money. So what are you actually selling? So I have some screenshots here of some personal brands and some influencers, online coaches. We have Lambo, who sells day trading. David, who used to sell a SMMA kind of course. We have Zidane, who's selling a fitness program course. Jay Dunn, who's selling a trading program / course. Marcel selling a personal development mentorship course, whatever you want to frame it. Logan selling TikTok shop. Jeremy selling coaches. The reason I have Jeremy in here is because he only has 8,000 followers, and you look at these guys, obviously bigger fishes. It does not matter how big the account is, because if they're running ads, I mean, and they have an abundant amount of leads, there's still the same amount of an opportunity than there is compared to like someone as big as Zidane. You know, so the whole idea of it is these are just like a small amount of examples. In reality, guys, like there's tons of programs, fitness, TikTok shop, trading, e-commerce, like drop shipping, stuff like that, personal development, dating coaches. Like you've seen all of these type of like gurus out there that are selling some type of program and courses out there, mentorships, masterminds, digital products. Anyways, they make a majority of their money from selling courses, is what I'm trying to get to, okay? And these offers usually cost from like maybe $2,000 all the way to $83,000 in terms of like high ticket coaching. Like I said, they don't run without setters and closers. They need reps, which is essentially what we're going to be breaking down here in a moment. You don't need experience. You just need to be obviously have some training, which while you're watching this video, and I just have the tenacity to have a normal conversation to anybody. So it's super simple. So for example, if Marcel is selling some type of digital product, some type of course, mentorship, and let's say it's $15,000, okay? So it's a 15K offer. Now Marcel has a YouTube, he has a TikTok, he's clearly has an Instagram right here. And so if you go to the description or the caption of the content he's pushing out there, There will always be a call to action to maybe opt into one of his funnels or a training or something. Or there might be an option to DM him a certain number or a certain word. Anyways, the whole thing is to create a conversation with you or a lead or someone interested in Marcel's services, someone that's interested in getting helped by Marcel one-on-one or maybe group coaching, whatever it might be. They're going to be opted into his content on, like, I don't even know, let's say YouTube, for example, or something like that. And so at one point in the description, they're going to put in their phone number. And when they put in their phone number, a setter is going to reach out to them. Okay, so a setter is going to reach out to them and pretty much get an understanding of why they're interested, what's the whole goal of getting interested, why they like Marcel, and if they're qualified enough to even book a call with a closer or someone from Marcel's team, the setter will do that. And so that's the whole goal. Marcel's pushing all this content, TikTok, YouTube, all this type of content out there, and they're all funnels to essentially go to the setter. Someone from Marcel's team to set them with the closer. And the closer's job is to close that lead or that person on one of his digital products, courses, whatever it might be. I know this looks boring, but it's supposed to be boring, guys. Like, this is straight raw sauce. Anyways, they're getting information on what exactly that is on this closing call, and the closer is essentially closing that deal. Let's say it's a 15K package. The closer closes a 15K deal, and this is the commission structure right here. On average, in the industry, from being in it for 3 years, this is literally what I've been seeing, setters often get 5% commission. Closers get 10% commission. So you do the math on 15K. Okay, 10% of that is clearly 1,500. Then setters get 750. Okay, you get the idea of it. So that's how they actually get paid. The more leads, the more opportunity to close more deals. The idea of it is, like, not everyone's going to close. That's essentially it. Now you have the understanding of the concept. The same exact pattern goes for all of these influencers, online coaches. It's the same thing. There's different strategies. There's different funnels. Of course, we can get down to, like, the nitty gritty and the frameworks and scripts and stuff like that. But that's literally the whole idea of it. Just so you have an idea. This is a real opportunity. I like to think of it like, back during the gold rush, people thought the idea of making the most money in the gold rush was go mining for gold with shovels and pickaxes or whatever it might be. But you know where most people made a majority of their money? Was actually selling the shovels and the pickaxes, because that's where a majority of the people went to find the opportunity. So the same thing here. Most people are going to buy these courses, and yes, they do work. These courses actually genuinely get people results. Now, the thing is, majority of the money is made selling the result. You know what I mean? So you have a pretty much of a simple understanding. So the reality check is, this is commission only work. If you don't close a deal, you don't get paid hourly. That's it. You're not going to get paid hourly. It's not a regular job. This is 1099 work. If you close deals, if you don't close deals, you don't eat. So you can work for 5 hours out of the day and you have 0 deals closed, you're not making anything. But the income potential is massive if you're good at it. I mean, think about it like this. If you're a closer and you have literally 6 bookings on your calendar and you have, let's say you're closing maybe a 5K deal. My pen is just acting up right now. Anyways, you're closing a 5K deal, you're getting 10% commission, and you only close 2 out of the 6 calls you have. That's $1,000 in commission. It's very, very simple stuff. But if you close 0 out of the 6 calls, you make nothing. So, I mean, I like the game. This is essentially like the reality check of it. I've been in sales since I was 16. I was doing telemarketing, cold calling, wholesale real estate, going door to door, mowing lawns. This is a truck that I was mowing lawns with. This was my room on the deflated air mattress at night over there. This is me stuck at my 9 to 5 that I hated. But I'm not going to lie, this 9 to 5, with all the acne I had, I'm kind of glad I went through it, because this is where I was doing about $600 to $800 a day, doing cold calls, calling random trucking companies and farming companies, learning how to sell. And so if you're coming from a sales background and you're stepping foot into the high-ticket sales industry, I'm telling you right now, dude, you will never look back again, because it's so easy. You're getting warm, hot, inbound leads. Like all these influencers and many, many more over here, like they're all hot. Like, these are leads interested in buying a trading program, interested in buying a clothing brand program, or whatever it might be. I've closed for a variety of different offers, but you get the idea of it, okay? So those are obviously some pictures of me. And so it was definitely a grind. It was definitely something that I had to go through. And I think, like I said, maybe you're going through something right now where you're working a 9 to 5, a sales job, whatever it might be. Like, the way I like to think about it is, like, if you're not in a good vehicle, you're not going to make anything. Like, you can work your ass off like in a dealership. Most car salespeople live at the dealership, but then, like, all that time they could be spending elsewhere making way more money. It's the whole idea of it, if you, you know. So let's keep on moving here. You guys can read this on your own time. I just want to go straight to the point, you know. So this is my first ever sales call. Let's share this here. That deal did not close. I wanted to show that because my audio was so bad. The lead was a flat DQ. Respect to him for showing up, right? But I'm telling you, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Not every single lead is going to be happy to hop on a sales call. And you might not always have the best resources around you. So I want to show that to give you more confidence, to show you if I can do it, you can literally do it too. Now, from the money I've made in the online space, it's allowed me to obviously move into a high-rise here in Newport Beach, move to Bali for a couple months, obviously have a sharp desk where I actually feel alive to wake up and get to work. And then from the money I've made and the commissions I've had in the high-ticket sales space, I've transitioned it into Airbnb. And so majority of my commissions through an Airbnb, been having record months. This past recently in July hit 85, and then I believe this is June we hit 65, and so every single month is tracking. But I was able to do this because of the skill of learning sales and marketing from like all the offers I've been selling for. It's like you use this stream and then you throw it into something different based off the skills you already know. Like I said, I've been documenting my journey since the past 3 years, filming YouTube and stuff like that. So I'm very, very grateful to actually make some content like this to provide value on what actually high ticket sales is and how you can do the same thing. So now that you have a better understanding of what high ticket sales is, how sales works in the online space, commission structures, all that good stuff, selling courses, all that good stuff. It's a great opportunity, I'll tell you that. But here's the thing, it's not for everybody. I've seen people get into this industry and just shit the bed completely and not make a single dollar. And so the reality is, like, we're selling courses and info products for a variety of different coaches, right, that actually help people. Trading offers, personal development, clothing brands, and how to scale, B2B. Like, we are genuinely helping people with a good service. And so it's important to know, like, the reality is, like, you can make money anyway. It doesn't have to be high ticket sales. It could be literally anything. But if you don't have the mindset to even understand that or even have the confidence in yourself to really get it done, don't even waste your time. So there's a couple topics that I wrote down that you really need to hone down in terms of mastering your mindset before you even step foot in the high ticket sales space. And so the first one is abundance. Make sure you're in abundance as a sales rep and as a setter and as a closer, because there's going to be times where you don't think you're able to have enough leads, or there's going to be times where you don't think you're able to close enough, or you get in your own way. But when you switch your mindset in abundance, knowing that no matter what, no matter how much money I spend, no matter how many leads I burn, or whatever it might be, there's always going to be an abundance of more opportunity. Maybe you get let go on a setting offer, or you get let go on a closing offer. No matter what, you have to be in abundance, because there's many more things. Like, majority of the things that you want in life, your goals, your ambition, most of the time they're literally right in front of you. And when you have that mindset moving forward in abundance, nothing can get through to you. Nothing will ruin your emotional state. You know what I mean? So being in abundance is a big one. Detaching yourself from the outcome. Most people, when they're selling high ticket, because mind you, we're going to be selling deals from 2K all the way to 83K. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to detach yourself, because most people don't even have 83K in the bank. So why would they even be having the confidence in selling themselves for 83K? So it's like you have to detach yourself from the current state you're currently in and borrow confidence in the best version of yourself and really tap into that salesperson, persona, if you will. The money mindset side of things. The way I like to look at it is you have to completely let go of the sale. You don't need the money. You don't need the commissions. Even if you need it and rent is due tomorrow, or for whatever reason, you're down to your last dollar, or you really need the clothes, you're going to end up coming off in an aura and an energy where people just don't want to buy from you. It's a weird thing with sales, but I believe there's a sales energy out there where if you really show up with a weird aura and energy of just like, I'm here to sell you, you're not going to close deals, especially if it's high ticket sales. So you have to completely detach yourself from the money, get rid of that, and go into the mindset of serving people. When you go into the mindset, and it's not even serving, but when you go into the mindset of serving people and genuinely helping people, then is when I started making, that's literally when I started having record months back to back. Serve others, genuinely help them, and dive into the reason why they're there on the call in the first place, because we'll get into more details in a moment on why people actually book these calls and how much pain they're really in, because people wear masks, and I'll get to that in a moment. Next thing is identity shift and belief in your own value. Similar to detaching from the outcome, the idea of it is like, when I was closing for $15K for one of my first offers, I was 18. I was on a deflated air mattress. To be honest with you guys, I don't even have $15K in my bank to even, sell $15K. So what I had to do is merge into the best version of Adam and kind of think to myself, how would Adam sell this if he was the best version of him? If he had the car, he had the crib, he had the travel lifestyle, how would he talk? And so I would have to create that belief in myself to actually sell high ticket products. And so when I did that and I stepped foot into that version of myself, then everything started falling in its place, getting more closes and obviously being in alignment with myself, and everything just became easier. But you have to have that belief, that constant, confident belief in yourself that you can do it, even though you might not feel it or see it. Maybe you're in a job you just don't like, or maybe you're just you're living a life that just isn't in alignment with who you want to be. You have to merge with the best version of yourself. And if you don't know who that version of yourself is, you need to spend some time alone and picture that out to the T. Lastly, resilience. Sales is hard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say you're going to make 10K next month, because that's not the case. Sales is really difficult. And so you're going to get said no a lot. People are going to hang up on you. People might cuss you out. But if you have the resilience and you have thick skin and you show up daily, you're going to be just fine. I always say, hard work always beats talent all day long. I'm telling you guys, same thing with high ticket sales. It's like, the more hard work, the more you show up, the more you're training on your sales calls and setting calls, you're going to be fine. So I had to implement the whole mindset thing because I think it's very, very important. And most people skip out on that, because if you don't have the right mindset going into sales, specifically high ticket sales, dudes, you're not going to make anything. So let's actually go dive deep into what the difference between setting and actually closing. High ticket sales, remote closing, high ticket setting, high ticket closing. It's all the same thing, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It literally is. So setters book qualified appointments for the closes to take. You're essentially the first line of contact, qualifying prospects, getting them on your calendar. Income goal is $500 to $2,000 a month starting out. Your responsibilities is to do 100 to 200 outbound calls daily, DM outreach, appointment setting, requirements, hit appointment setting quotas, or you're out. It's the best way to put it. If you're starting out and you have zero sales experience, within your first 1 month to 2 months, you're expected to hit $502K a month as a setter. Setters are not selling anything, guys. You're not selling anything. All you are doing, so this is a little bit more for introverts. All you are doing is literally going for, you're selling the appointment is the best way to frame it. And so, like I said, Tristan hit an 8K a month, and that was after 5 months of being in the industry as a call setter. So he was on a 2K base as well, so it made more sense because of the proof of concept. But starting out, you're looking at 5 to 2, and the max you can hit is about 8K a month. Very straight to the point there. Yeah, that's about $100, $200 outbound for sure. Like I said, you're not selling anything. All you are doing is literally selling the appointment. Okay, so if you're going to be DMing a online influencer or an online coach, you're most likely going to be talking to a setter. Or if you put your phone number and you opt into someone's training in someone's YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it might be, whoever calls you up, most likely a setter. So let's go ahead and move to the closer role. Closers take the actual sales call and close deals. This is where the real money is made. Income, 5 to 15K a month potential. Commissions range from 10 to 15% of what you close, varies on offer. Requirements, 30 to 40% close rate to stay on the team. Daily work, 6 to 10 hours of back-to-back sales call. That's the best way to put it, guys. Your income goal is around 5 to 15. That is where you'll actually make the most amount of money. You make more as a closer than you do as a setter. Very simple. And then commission is average 10%. You're always going to, majority of the time, you're going to get 10% commission for every closed deal you get. But I do have a couple reps on my sales team that do very, very well, and they're very consistent. And I want to take care of them on my sales team, so I give them 15% commission. And so that is only earned when the respect is there and you actually close consistent deals. It's something as a closer that you can kind of pitch to obviously your sales manager or the offer creator of just simply just being like, hey, can you give me more commission? And they can, the max I've seen is like 15% right there. And yeah, requirements 30 to 40% for sure. You have to stay within that. And if you're below, like for my sales teams, if someone's below 15% on the close rate, like it's very, very simple, guys. Like if you have 10 calls on your calendar and all 10 of them show up and you only close 5 out of the 10, that is a 50% show rate, right? Simple math, right? And then you can do the math of the rest. But if you're only closing 1 call out of the 10% lead, like after the 10 calls, it's a horrible close rate. You want to stay between the 30 to 40%, so around like 3 to 5 sales calls close out of the 10 sales calls, if you will. Okay, the progression. Most people start as setters to learn the ropes, then get promoted to a closer once they prove they can perform. The best closers eventually become sales managers and then run entire sales teams. That is right. That is an example of Daniel. Daniel went from a setter to a closer to a sales manager to making over 15, like I mentioned in the beginning. And so the idea of it is if you're fairly new to the high-ticket sales space, but you still want to get involved, the best way to go about it is starting as a setter. So that's like the best way to go about it. It's like starting as a setter, and then once you're in the respect, you make like maybe your first 1 to 3K as a setter, then you move your way as a closer. And the way I like to frame it is like as you're working as a setter, you need to be training as a closer. So running mock calls, and you need to be, interacting with other sales closers, taking advice from them. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? Get an understanding of what's going on there. So you can kind of get the ball rolling, right? So how do you land your first role? To sum everything up, you need to build a foundation. So what you need to do is like, one, if you have a current job, it's working sales, that's great. You need to keep working there until you actually land a job. So what you want to do is connect with existing sales people. Like the best way to go about it is if you're connecting with existing sales reps, existing high-ticket closers and steaders, the best way to find them is in free paid communities. So we just like get to know them. What are you currently closing on? Just make friends. Honestly, the more friends that you make, the more connections and opportunities you're going to have. What you can do is look, another thing, and now if you're scared of people and you want to obviously learn how to get into it, what you can do is search opportunities on Facebook. Okay, now I'm going to be honest, on Facebook, there are a lot of scams. There's a lot of scams on Facebook where they'll say they have a remote sales job opportunity, and when you hop on an interview with them, they end up trying to sell you for a $10,000 course on what high-ticket sales is. Don't fall for that shit. It's not worth it. It's literally a pyramid scheme. And then when you're inside of it, you know what you're going to be doing? You're literally going to be selling people on how to get into high-ticket sales inside of the Facebook group. It's a pyramid scheme. So Facebook is good, but be very, very conscious on Facebook. Another way to do it is Instagram cold outreach. This is honestly a really good method. I still do it to this day. I actually hired a rep from someone that DM'd me on Instagram a while back. So if you're DMing on Instagram and just saying, hey, straight up, like, hey, what's up? My name is Adam. I have sales experience. I want to be your high-ticket setter and closer. And if you're sending about 50 plus messages a day to all these online coaches and influencers, you're going to get hit up by someone for sure. And then another way I would go about it is obviously, like I said, Discord communities. So if you're in Discord communities, you have the potential to literally make friends with people that are actually in the industry itself. Another way is YouTube. So if you go on YouTube and you search up like how to make money online or just like online coaches, whatever it might be, and you interact with that YouTuber, he's clearly selling a course or some type of digital product, like I said, you can find him and then go to Instagram and then DM him. right? Very, very simple strategy. Now, there is a Loom video strategy that you can do that's in my free community on how to actually make one and how you can land an offer 10 times faster than doing all that stuff. But the whole idea of it is the more connections that you guys have when it comes to making connections with the online space is you have more opportunities. Because if you think about it, like 99% of the people your friends you have, you met them through mutuals. Same thing with opportunities. You'll find that the more opportunities, the more people you're around, especially that you're connected in the high ticket sales space, the more opportunities you have to land offers. And so, like I said, I'll get into more about it in a moment, but I have my own sales agency where I need to hire and fire reps all the time. And so if you're looking to get placed, like I said, join the community and apply down below in the description. But let's get right into essentially who is this for? So this is for you. If you're 18 or 35 years old, feeling stuck at a 9-to-5, you're an existing sales rep wanting to level up to high ticket, you're burned out from failed side hustles and get-rich schemes, you want to learn a real skill with a clear roadmap to success. Your goal is to quit your job and work remote making 5 to 15K a month. You're hungry, coachable, and tired of chasing quick plays. Like I said, guys, very to the point, I'm not here to promise you the world. I'm not here to guarantee you or say you're going to make 10K next month or something like that. Like, this is a legit skill. It's a great opportunity, but it's going to take some time. This is not for you if you're looking to get rich quick, want to make 5K in 2 weeks. You think you can work 2 hours a day and make serious money. You're not willing to grind and face daily rejection. You expect overnight success without putting in the work. You can't handle commission-only pressure and uncertainty. Because real talk, if you're expecting to, like I said, make 5K next week, whatever it might be, this is not for you. Okay, and so like my job here in these modules is to be as upfront as I possibly can and just tell you straight up the truth, dudes. So what the industry won't tell you, most people think high ticket sales is taking 2 to 3 sales calls on the beach, working 2 hours a day. That's complete bullshit. And whoever's telling you that is lying to you and most likely just trying to shove their course down your throat. Okay, this is the thing, guys. Like, if you're expecting to take sales calls on the beach, take 2 calls a day and expect to make 10K a month, this is not the industry for you. This is sales. This is hard work. This is genuine, like, reps. You know what I mean? Anyone, like, you definitely can travel for sure. Like, the way I like to, let me keep going. I'll give you guys a quick story here. But the real deal is, like, you're working 16 hours a day. It's commission only. If you don't close deals, you're not getting paid. You're going to deal with tire kickers, people wasting your time. You can get fired quickly if you're not performing on your sales team, and you need to hit 30 to 40% close rate on most teams to actually maintain that. And you face daily rejection, people hanging up on you. That's just sales in general, right? I mean, it's going to happen. And the reason why most people fail is they can't handle uncomfort. They expect instant results. They're not coachable. They can't deal with emotional ups and downs, and they quit after a few weeks when shit gets hard. But here's why it's worth it. The freedom and the money you can make is life-changing, and you can make it from anywhere. Set your own schedule, and if you're good at it, you can make more money than most people with college degrees ever will. And this is what allowed me to just, like, when I first started, I wasn't the best, guys. Like, I needed to work on my communication skills and understanding, like, people's pain points and understand how I can actually close deals. You definitely, like, you can't expect to go into this and take 2 sales calls a day and then expect to make $10,000 a month. Like, for example, I traveled to Bali, and the schedule out there, like, 8 a.m. in California is 12 p.m. in Bali. So I normally start my days for taking sales calls at 8 a.m. in California, and when I was in Bali, I was up until like 4 in the morning sometimes just taking sales calls. It was the craziest thing ever. And so, like, what I would do is I would start my days early. Instead of 12 p.m., I would start like at 6 a.m. taking sales calls, and then that would be like, I want to say like 1 p.m. in California. So, like, I was a little bit jet lagged. I didn't really function as well as I normally do in California. But I would wake up early in the morning. I would bust out 6 to 10 sales calls a day. Yeah, cash in $1,000, $1,500 for the day for sure. And then as soon as that was done, I would go to Nirvana, to the gym, which is like really expensive gym out there. And I would just enjoy the rest of my evening. But like, when you travel, for sure you can do it with sales or remote sales, but you need to bust out your calls and then enjoy the fruits of traveling. So don't get that twisted. So let's move into the sales psychology framework and how people really buy. So people buy based off emotions first, then justify logic later. Your job is to find their pain, amplify it, then position your offer as a solution. Let me kind of give you an analogy that makes sense for me and makes sense for most people when I kind of frame it like this. For example, the in and out analogy, or for example, when you're hungry in general. When you're hungry, you don't think logistically, I need to go on my car, I need to turn on my key, I need to turn my car on, I need to take left at this turn, you don't logistically think how you're going to get to, wherever you want to go eat. What you do is you think emotionally. You start thinking, damn, In-N-Out Burger sounds pretty good right now. You start seeing the idea of you eating that cheeseburger at In-N-Out or any dinner spot you want to go to. And so once you feel it, you feel the emotion, the hunger of wanting to do it, and then after you pull up the directions on your phone to think logistically and how to actually get there. Does that make sense? It's very simple, okay? Find the pain, amplify the pain, present the solution. So same thing with sales. So when you figure out a prospect's real reason to actually change their life, let me bring up an actual experience that I've had in a sales call. When I was closing for a hypnosis personal development offer, the offer was $15,000, and I was on a sales call with a Army veteran. God bless his soul. Respect to him. Appreciate him more than he knew. But on the phone call, he wanted to quit drinking to obviously take care of his family and like just be a better man. Is his whole approach to obviously reaching out to our program and our services. Now, there was an actual real pain, and there was my job to amplify that, and I needed to figure out a solution tailored to him. So every sales call is different. And for this guy, I'm going to use this space over here, but his biggest thing was, drinking was a big pain. Time was a big thing, not spending time with his family. And then another thing tailored to time was the struggle. So pretty much the pain was he wasn't the man that he wanted to be because he was always drinking and he couldn't spend as much time because he was always working. But there was something deeper to that I had to expose, and ended up leading to him losing loved ones in the military, having trauma, and that caused him to drink, and that caused him to distance himself from his family. That was the real pain. And my solution to unravel, and I had to unravel that by asking certain questions and diving deeper based off our conversation to what's really going on. And so when I opened that can of worms, he started spilling out everything. And what's crazy about this call is in the beginning of this sales call, when I called him, I was actually 5 minutes late myself. And he was really pissed because we have a whole bunch of messages saying if you show up late, we'll cancel a call and a whole bunch of things like that. But he was really pissed. But throughout the middle of the call, I kind of diffused him a little bit, and he ended up really telling me what's going on, the pain that's been really bothering him, the reason why he can't spend so much time with his family, and how long it's been going on. It's been going on for 3 years. He's been struggling with this pain. He's been battling the problems for XYZ for maybe, I think it was like 2.5 years or something like that. He was struggling with all of the pain that he gave me. And the idea of it is like, I use that pain and I figured out a solution. I said, hey, you know what, bro? I'm glad you're on the phone call with me. We actually have something to help you to stop drinking. We have something to help you quit your job and save more time so you can figure out how to structure your days and have more accountability, spend more time with your family, and overall help the trauma that you've been struggling with your, obviously the military in the past, which was a solution. But I tailored it to his problems. So that was the reason why finding pain. And most of the time, everyone's pain is different. Like it could always be, like sometimes I've heard pain to people that just hate their job and they feel like they could be spending more time doing something else. Building authority. You need to position yourself as the expert who knows the best for them. They need you more than you need them. If you're needy for the sale, you lose everything. The discovery process. Ask intentional questions to uncover the real motivations. Get specific dollar amounts for their current income and goals. Understand their why and what's driving them to change. Creating urgency. Use limited spots, time constraints, or consequences. The best urgency comes from them realizing the cost of where they are. So, like I said, that kind of ties into what I explained with the military lead that I had. It's really just diving deep and having a real conversation with the lead and genuinely asking where are they currently at right now in their life, what is their goal, and what is the wall in the way of getting there. So let me kind of draw this out for those, because I know that this works for me when I draw stuff out. So where do they currently want to go? What is their goal, big G? And what is the wall getting in the way? And then our solution is essentially another way to get to the goal. Maybe saving time. Maybe it's another door right here to get through the wall, to get to their goal. But you have to figure out what's in the way of getting to their goal, and that is essentially, diving deep in the conversation, how long they've been struggling with it. And your product and your service and what you're selling is the solution to where you want to go. So if someone is struggling on TikTok Shop on getting more views and trying to sell a product, your solution is helping them get more views and making money and the best in the community and whatever it might be. Or if you're selling a personal development program, your solution is accountability coach and trauma coach to get past that to their goal. Or if you're selling a trading program, if you are talking to a day trader and his goal is to become profitable in the markets, but he can't, he needs a better strategy. And so this is his pain, this is his goal, and you are going to unlock this wall by teaching them how a strategy to become profitable, right? There's different keys to this wall, if you will, I know, but that's essentially the whole idea of it. So people aren't just, because people have walls and they're in pain all day long, and sometimes they struggle to get past this wall for years at a time, which is why it's important for you as a salesperson to discover that and get past to it and get to the actual goal. So simply serve them and help them out. That's essentially it, guys. Okay, so let's get into objection handling. This is a big thing that, most people like to idolize. And like I said, I used to post, and I still do every now and then, but not as much as I used to. I used to post my objection handle clips on social media. And a lot of people would eat it up. Like that was like the 20K, 30K, 40K views on Twitter. But the whole idea of it is just helping a person get past their different objections. Because on a sales call, when you drop $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a price on them, they'll give you a think about it objection, or talk to my spouse objection, or a money objection, or I'm not ready right now. This is all a smokescreen. A smokescreen is essentially a mask that someone is wearing. They're essentially lying to you, but in a nice way. Hey, I have to go think about it, man. Give me like a day, I'll get back to you. Hey, I need to go talk to my wife. Give me 2 days, I'll get back to you. Hey, I don't have the money. Give me some time, or whatever it might be, or I'm not ready. This is all a smokescreen. Essentially a nice way of lying to you. And your job as a salesperson is to let their guard down and get to the real reason why they're saying think about it, because this is not true. It's all not true. And so you have to be a therapist, and you have to be very polite. Some people, like for me, like I have such a great investment mindset where if I see the value in it, I won't even ask details. I'll just say, hey, take my credit card, I'm ready to buy. But some people need to be walked through to think about it. And so the best way I like to do it is, like, for example, for a think about it objection, I'll say, hey, like, for example, Adam, no problem. You want to go think about it. Brother, what do you feel is coming up for you that makes you want to go think about it, just to see if we can even help you out? And they'll be like, you know what, man, the idea of having to go think about it, it's honestly the finances I have to make sense. So now it's no longer think about it. Now it's the finances that you have to handle. And so now you got to isolate the objection. Okay, cool. It's the finances, no problem. Is the finances the only thing holding you back from getting started today and making this purchase to help you get to XYZ goal, right? That's the main thing. And they'll be like, yeah, finances is the only thing. And then maybe what you can do is just downsell and figure out a payment plan, or put them on a third-party financing, like a firm, or just get them on a payment plan or whatever it might be. But and then you close them on the sales call. Now, notice how I said XYZ goal. I kind of skimmed over the process of discovery. But the beginning of a sales call is to understand where they're currently at and get those details and write them into notes. And so, like, that's just simply asking them, like, hey, dude, what's your goal with getting started with us, or whatever product or service you're selling? You want to get their goal. How much do they want to make? How far are they from that today? What do they feel is holding them back? What type of guidance do they feel they need in order to be successful with us? These are all these goals that I'm getting. And so when I frame it like, if I'm asking a genuine question, like, do you feel the conversation we had today can actually help you to hit your first 15K month, or get past the trauma, or become a better trader, or become a better TikTok shop creator? These are all the goals I'm spitting. So all the ammo that they're giving to me, I'm essentially think about it like this. Like, they're shooting a gun to you. Pretend this is a gun, and they're shooting little bullets to you, right? Like, these are little bullets, and this is you. Right? This is you. You're essentially grabbing their bullets and throwing it right back at them at the end. So you're getting all the ammo in the beginning, and you're throwing them the ammo at the end. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please let me know. I will clarify in the comments. But same thing with the money. The money objection, maybe it's a fear type of thing. Maybe they do have the money, but maybe there's a fear that you have to get past, or talking to the spouse. The best way I like to go about it is opening up that conversation. That's totally valid. Because what I'll end up saying is like, hey, totally understand. You got to go talk to your wife and your husband, whatever it might be. You guys are together because you guys trust each other's judgment, obviously. Yeah, absolutely. And then just straight up ask them, what do you feel your spouse is going to say when you do bring this up to them? 99% of the time, they're going to say, oh, yeah, I think they'll accept it. Yeah, 100%, no problem. And then you want to challenge them. And then you want to be like, hey, well, dude, what happens if your wife or your husband says no and they don't want you to do it? What are you going to do then? So now it's a challenging, respectful way where it's like you're opening up a new can of worms, and you're challenging them whether if they really want to do this or not. Sometimes they'll be like, you know what, Adam, like, I don't want to then I won't do it. And then you'll be like, you bring up the ammo again. Hey, dude, like, man, are you serious? After you told me you've been struggling with your problem for the past 4 years of getting to XYZ goal, and you just told me you have confidence in us actually getting to where you want to be, what's really going on? So it's essentially having that uncomfortable conversation from the ammo you've gotten from the discovery process, and challenging the prospect in a respectful way and not getting them upset. So we can go all day. Like I said, I have more training in the Discord community going over objection handles, because most people really like the objection handle stuff. Like I said, the idea is like very simple. If someone's looking this direction and they don't think they can do it, you want to grab their head, turn it this way, and be like, no, man, you have to look this way. This is the way we got to go. Because they're not thinking in abundance when they want to go think about it. They're not thinking in abundance when they go talk to the spouse. They're not thinking in abundance when they have to go, I don't have money. I'm not ready right now. They're not in abundance. So when you come off in a call with abundance and authority and confidence in them, then everything changes. And so that's when I switch. I want to show you guys here. Let me put my eraser right here for you guys. We'll move on after this. But there's 4 topics I want to share with you guys that really helped me close over 1 million in closed deals by the time I was 19. And it was these 3 concepts right here. It was the smokescreen, mask, leader, confidence. We already went over the smokescreen and the mask a little bit. I want to focus on being a leader and confidence. Most of these prospects don't have confidence in themselves. And so you as a closer, but more so you as a leader on this call, your job is to guide them and have confidence in them to actually make a difference in their life. Like sometimes I'll be like, dude, I know we can help you out. I know we can get you where you want to be. I think what you need is the right people around you and the accountability to actually get there. And when you have someone have that full confidence in yourself, you don't want to let them down. So that's what I'm saying. Confidence comes from you for them to make a buying decision on that call, especially if they're spending over $5,000, $10,000. You know what I mean? So leader, confidence together equals money. Okay, let's keep on moving. Yeah, so right now I run a sales agency where I manage sales teams for multiple influencers and online coaches. Instead of just making commissions, I take a percentage from their entire team's performance and building recurring revenue. So the progression path that I like to pretty much frame, which is Daniel, what he's doing right now, is he went from a setter to a closer to sales manager and now working his way up to agency owner. But the big picture is, with high ticket sales, it teaches you influence and persuasion, skills that transfer to any business. Learn the skill first, then use it to build your own empire. OCL took his commissions and threw it into e-com. I took my commissions and threw it into Airbnb. And then same thing with the rest of the clients that take their commissions. It's totally up to you. So the whole idea of it, guys, look, I need your help. I need reps. I'm constantly hiring and firing sales closers all the time. And I need reps for my sales agency. I have fitness offers, I have TikTok shop offers, trading offers, personal development offers. And so if it comes to, potentially putting you on one of my sales teams, we can definitely open up that conversation. But I wanted to let you guys know that, you can definitely make 12K a month with high ticket sales for sure. But I want you to start I want you to start thinking where you want to put that money after. Because as a business owner, I'm always looking for ways to level up in different streams. You know what I mean? You never really stop. So let's talk about the tools and the resources and technology you'll need. You need reliable internet. You need a computer setup. You need a quality headset for clear communication. You don't need it. I lied. It definitely will help for sure. One of my boys, Rafa, has a headset, and honestly, it works pretty well for sure for him. Zoom and Google Meet is the type of platforms you'll end up needing. CRM system. CRM system is essentially a big software that keeps track of all the leads that are engaging with the product or service that you're selling for. So you can kind of click on each lead and they'll have notes on that lead. So you don't have to worry about that. You get all this stuff, the Zoom and the CRM and then the calendar booking softwares when you get onboarded on a sales team. So you don't need that off the bat. That's all the type of stuff that's going to get onboarded when you start. Skills to develop. Yeah, objection handling, sales psychology, communication, rapport building, time management, organization, emotional resilience, and stress management, continuous learning and adaptation. So the idea of it here, so make sure, guys, that you are constantly getting better. Even to this day, I have my friends review my sales calls. I'm not here to claim I'm the best closer in the world. For sure, I've closed millions of high-ticket deals with myself and my sales teams, but I have other leaders help me. I'm never going to sit here and say I'm the best in the world. I'm pretty fucking good, but I need people to review my calls. And so I'm getting better at my objection handling, my sales psychology. I'm learning every single day so I can stack my skills and get better as a business owner. And then you should do the same as a closer. When it comes to your progression in months, your first 1 to 3 months is where you're going to be falling on your face the most, and you're going to be spending the majority of your time working your ass off. Expect to land an offer within 2 to 3 weeks for sure, and you're not going to be making the most. You're probably going to be making between 1 and 3K a month as a setter, but that's what you should be working as a setter the first 2 to 6 weeks, and then from there, at the same time while you're training to be a closer. Okay, so you're practicing objection handles, you're asking for help, you're connecting with other existing closers, but that's what should be going on. And at the same time, you want to go through sales books, psychology books, communities, discords, mock calls, listening to your recordings, reviewing your own calls, and then just getting help from existing closers. I'm telling you, that is the best way. Just get connected, that's it. But the best way to get better is just simply sales books, psychology books, Discord communities, mock calls, recordings, reviewing your own calls, and then getting advice from closers. The best way is just connecting with existing people already doing it. People like myself, hop on a call. You know what I mean? What are you doing right? What are you doing that I'm not doing? But that's essentially it. And another thing too is my investment mindset. This is the way I like to think about it. I didn't go to college. And most kids spend on average between $80,000 to $120,000 a year going to college. And I respect that. They're pulling out loans and stuff like that. Is it going to help them? Probably not, especially if they're doing a degree that they're not even in alignment with. So my mindset is I'm constantly investing in myself. I invested in myself to get better at sales. I invested in myself to learn Airbnb. I invested in myself to get better at YouTube. I'm constantly investing in my self-improvement, knowing that it's going to get me closer to my goal. So that's the mindset you want to have, especially if you portray that as a setter and as a closer. When you're for example, I'm a high ticket buyer. I'm always buying high ticket stuff like Hormozy stuff, business courses and mentorships and masterminds, in-person events. I buy that stuff and it's expensive to some people. But because I buy that and I have so much conviction on what it's done for me, it's so easy to sell high ticket to help someone else find the conviction. When I first started closing, it was a little bit difficult because I didn't really have a mindset of buying or investing in myself in high ticket. But once I had that mindset of just getting out of my own way and taking action on myself, that's when everything kind of fell out with that investment mindset. And I think that's huge that most closers need, because you can't be scared to drop 4,000 or 5,000, 15,000 on someone if you don't even believe in investing in yourself. So get past this mindset. Everything else will fall in its place. Connect with good people, get started, and everything else will coast for you. Nonetheless, guys, high ticket sales is literally the easiest and the best industry to get into. Because here's something I'll tell you. When you're closing for these traders and these personal development coaches or, TikTok shop coaches, you actually get access to their courses. Because how are you going to sell a product that you don't know anything about? So all of the offers I've closed for, clothing brands, TikTok shop, trading, personal development, e-com, and many, many more, I still have access to their $1,000, more than 4-figure courses and mentorships and communities because I made those connections. And now if I wanted to, I can connect with them and reach out to them if I want to learn that. So it's great for sure. High ticket is amazing, but think about the resources that you're going to get. And not only that, the connections that you're going to have. And then from the commissions and the money that you make, throw it into even something bigger. I threw it into Airbnb and everything else kind of just fell in its place. And I never looked back again. I never did. And now I know how to sell. I know how marketing works. And I have all this knowledge and all these different types of programs and products out there that kind of just make sense. So it's so simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. All right, dude, so we just covered a whole lot of ground on what exactly high ticket sales is and how to go from a setter to a closer to sales managing and taking all your commissions and taking it to the next level and giving you the right tools and the right resources to give you full confidence in actually starting. So here's the reality. Most people are going to fail at this. Honestly, probably maybe 98% of people are going to fail at this because the only problem, the reason why they're failing is because they just don't take action in themselves. But the people that do take action, they're willing to invest in themselves. They're willing to fall on their face, not willing to actually listen to what other people are telling them. They're just simply going. Those are the people who are going to actually get crazy good results. Look, I've been in sales since I was 16 years old. I've been in high ticket sales since I was 18 years old. And from all that, I've closed over millions of high ticket deals. And obviously having my agency, managing 7-figure sales teams. But I essentially live, breathe this stuff all day long. And from doing this, it's allowed me to take on clients like yourself and place them on solid offers and giving them an opportunity that most people wish they had. If you're serious about changing your life through high ticket sales, I have a personal one-on-one mentorship where I actually take you through the ropes, get you placed on a legit offer to start setting and closing and build a solid, consistent career with the online space so you can take your commissions and go to the next level. This isn't another course. I don't have anything there to sell you. This is straight up an opportunity for you to start selling and get better at sales. I provide one-on-one coaching, scripts, frameworks, group coaching calls, accountability coaches, and an actual system tailored to you on how to hit your first 5K, 10K, 15 with no bullshit. But here's the thing. I only take on people who are serious about improvement and changing their lives. Because I'm not here to promise you overnight success or 10K a month next month. This is a career that you got to be chipping away every single day, and you will see how far you can actually get. Before you even think about working directly with me, make sure to join my free Discord community where you can connect with existing closers, hop on mock calls, my live opportunities, my daily sauce that I'll hop in there, more than sauce that we had in here, to be honest with you, so you can actually start. Look, high ticket sales completely changed my life. Completely. I'm traveling, I have time freedom, I can spend time with my loved ones, and I learn a skill that allows me to progress in any industry of business because I understand sales. So if you're serious and you want to step foot into high ticket sales and make a career for yourself, and let alone just have I wouldn't even say a side hustle, but more than anything, have another stream of income, let's get to work. Apply to work with me, get involved, take more action, and I'll see if I can help you out. All right, so I'll see you later. Peace out.